Welcome back. We are here again with our fascinating guest, Justin Butcher. The conversation is just getting better. You'll definitely want to stick around. There's so much more to uncover. What have been some of your more positive experiences of actually using AI yourself?
I've used it to rewrite my own resume.
Oh, there we go.
I find writing your own resume is one of the hardest things to write because I think that what's happened in my life is so important. And my resume ends up being so long. And I know it needs to be shorter, but I find it agonizing knowing which bits to take out.
It's all important. Yeah, how do you heighten the impact and minimize the length?
Yeah. So feeding it into an AI tool like ChatGPT and saying, reduce this to 2 pages or reduce this to 3 pages, that's helped me it's given me another person's outside view of what might be most important about my resume.
Wow, what a great way to increase the effectiveness of your own presentation to the world through a resume, but leveraging technology to achieve that, which is part of the goal of most technology that people invest in. And I feel like AI is making that more accessible. A lot of people talk about, I don't need to code anymore because AI will write the code for me. I feel like we can spend a lot more time just ignoring the code layer altogether. What's the outcome I want? I have these inputs. What's the outcome I want? And I think a resume is a perfect example of leveraging AI to achieve a great outcome.
And it's like I used the word person before. It's like having another person to bounce an idea off.
Yes.
And I think that I love to improve my thinking by bouncing ideas off another person. Even if the other person is no more intelligent or knowledgeable than me, having a conversation with another person helps me frame my thoughts. And Gen AI can be like that other person.
That's ideal.
So another place where I've used it is in my personal life. I've had some rough romantic breakups, shall we say, in the last couple of years. And I like to process that by talking to someone. And I've actually found some fascinating AI tools out there that will just let me have a chat about things going on and give me that outside perspective of being like talking to a friend just to get a different point of view.
I love that. We interviewed Guest Zero recently, and Guest Zero was telling us how introverted she was. And what she found was her insecurities and nervousness with interacting with humans went away, and she could ask the AI stuff that she would normally be embarrassed to ask another human. So she started to ask tools like Perplexity and ChatGPT questions that she kind of wanted to investigate but didn't want to look silly asking another human. And then interestingly, after she'd been doing that for a while, taking that prompt engineering kind of approach, she built a bit of a relationship with the tool that she then started to feel a little bit embarrassed asking ChatGPT questions. It was strange that layer of thinking crept in, even though she is computer engineer, software engineer level person, but started to personalize the machine and started to feel nervous about how the machine would judge her.
I've been there too. Yeah.
So it's not just unique.
This is fascinating dynamic, isn't it? You start with the machine because you know it's just a machine and you can ask it anything and not be embarrassed about your ignorance or not be embarrassed about your feelings, in terms of, you're working through your emotions. But then you invest a bit of time in that and you've built this relationship with a thing that seems like a person. And so, yes, I think you can start to feel a little bit embarrassed about what you talk to your digital friend about.
Because what you want is that person layer, but then you start to feel actually they're resembling a person.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, given the experiences that you've had so far, what would you like to see next in AI, whether it exists or not?
One thing I'd like to see, and this is maybe not quite where you're going, but I'd like to see people understand what's happening behind the AI. I think it's hard to understand that. I think I understand computer science pretty well. I had a gap of about 5 years. Well, I shouldn't even try and put a number on it, but I think I understand computer science pretty well, but I had to recently, earlier this year, sit down and go back and look at how neural networks work and really think, well, how does it work? It sort of seems a bit like a person, even though I know it's not a person, obviously. What is it doing and how is it thinking? Is it really thinking, or is it just creating the appearance of thinking? What's going on? And I don't think very many people understand that. I'd also like to see much more rapid adoption of generative AI, because I think the biggest risk we have is missing the opportunity to use it. In large corporations, my background's Australian government, but I think in all large corporations, there's this sense that people at the board level or at the C-suite level have seen what it can do. There's an expectation to be using it because it's an amazing new opportunity, and to be responsible custodians of the work that we do in large organisations, we should be doing something with the AI. But I think we're only scratching the surface.
Yeah.
I think until we take it right to the core of the big problems that we need to solve in society and also in business, and really grapple with that, then we're losing an opportunity. Every year that goes by where we say, well, we play around the edges or pay lip service to it or try and show that we're doing something, until we actually grapple with the big hard problems and really get the potential, then we're just missing an opportunity.
I agree. Big shout out to 3 Brown and 1 Blue for helping Justin understand neural networks.
Yes.
Link in the description below. I find that really interesting that your gut tells you that the path to higher adoption is a deeper understanding. I'm wondering, when we see the populace of like the new digital gods, everyone's praying to the gods of Facebook and X and getting their news from there. Apparently Australians consume most of their news via Facebook as of 2024, which I found quite interesting. My sense of the majority of those people is they have no concept of how that news gets into their feed. They just benefit from it and take action from it and reuse it and increase the popularization of it. So it's interesting that your gut, your natural instinct is to say, learn more, understand more deeply so we can use it better. How about the other side? What's your thinking on the just interact with ChatGPT and its brethren like Perplexity, and just use it as is, don't need to understand much about it and go for it. What's your thoughts in that
Look,
space?
we need both. I guess I'm talking as a somewhat of a computer scientist or engineer. There need to be enough people that understand what's going on to inform public debate. We need our political leaders, our Prime Minister, our opposition leader in federal parliament, to be able to have meaningful debates, and we need voters to be able to understand what those debates are about. Until we have that, where we're trusting other people to make big, significant decisions, because this is unprecedented. That doesn't mean everyone needs to understand how neural networks work. And yes, the 3 Blue, 1 Brown channel explanations on neural networks, absolutely brilliant. So if you do want to understand that next level, highly recommended. But it's like everything. We need to trust the health professionals to make good decisions about health. We need to trust the economists to be able to have the right debates about the economy. Not everyone needs to be an expert in Gen AI, but we need enough of it sensibly discussed in the right forums and in the right way that we can have those debates. And there's a whole lot of debates we need to have, because I've just said the biggest risk is that we don't use it enough. There are some other huge risks as well.
Yeah.
Like, where is your information going when you're having that chat with your favorite engine or app? And ethical use of AI, the kinds of answers you get, how we train large language models. And there's many others, but this is why we need to have that deeper understanding so we can have the debates about what laws do we need to have in place. This is like introducing a whole new world, as yet largely without laws, only governed by the laws we have from the old world.
No, very much agreed. So shout out to the viewers. If you're aware of really solid channels like 3 Blue, 1 Brown, please put a comment in the comments below. We're really interested to know those other channels that are really sharing this knowledge and wisdom on how to understand the groundings of AI. I think that's really interesting for all of us, and I think you've touched on some really important points, so many important points, but particularly around the ethics and the laws, and for governments to start to wrap their head around this. What are your final thoughts in this space for the moment?
Look, I think building on all the things we just chatted about, I just want to say shout out to you. It's great that you're doing what you're doing, getting people talking, thinking intelligently, pushing the boundaries of what we can do with Gen AI. It's exciting, I know everyone's saying it, but we need this kind of dialogue. We need people thinking about this and applying it in thoughtful ways. So yeah, thanks for what you're putting into making that happen here on this channel.
Oh, awesome, thank you. Well, AI is such a massive and engaging topic. I really wish we had more time for your thoughts. Would you be open to joining us again sometime?
Love to.
Amazing. That was Peak AI interacting with a human called Justin Butcher from the tech industry, focusing on government in Australia in December 2024. Thanks for watching.